Now I'm going to show you how to do a bar modeling example that uses addition and comparing two things. Step 1, I'm going to read the entire problem. Mrs. Chen has 65 cookies. Miss Lynch has 45 more cookies than Mrs. Chen. How many cookies do they have altogether? Step 2, I'm going to rewrite the question in sentence form and leave a space for the answer. So I can say, they have blank cookies altogether. Step 3, I'm going to determine who or what is involved in the problem. In this problem, I'm working with Mrs. Chen's cookies. And I'm also working with Miss Lynch's cookies. Step 4, I'm going to draw the unit bars. I'm going to give them a starting line. We do this to make sure that the bars are lined up. Mrs. Chen has 65 cookies. That will be my first bar. I'm going to label it 65. Miss Lynch has 45 more cookies than Mrs. Chen. So first I'm going to have her have the same amount. So right now she has 65. Then I know that I need to give her 45 more cookies. So I'm going to lengthen her bar and label that part 45. For my next step, I'm going to put in my question mark for what I'm trying to find. And in this case, we're trying to find the total of Mrs. Chen's cookies and Miss Lynch's cookies. So I'm going to draw in a bracket. So this shows that I want to find the total of all the bars. And we can label that with a question mark. My next step is that I'm going to correctly compute and solve the problem. So I'm going to bring my addition down in my blank space. I'm going to start by adding Mrs. Lynch's bar. So she has 65 plus 45. So Miss Lynch has 110 cookies altogether. Now I'm going to add in Mrs. Chen's cookies. We have 110 plus 65 gives me a total of 175. My last step, I'm going to write the answer in my sentence and make sure the answer makes sense. So I can fill in my answer in the blank. My answer as a sentence, they have 175 cookies altogether. In order to make sure that my answer makes sense, I'm going to round the numbers that are on our bars. So we have 65 rounds to 70. The other 65 is another 70. So 70 and 70 gives me 140. Plus, I'm going to round my 45. 45 rounds to 50. So we have 140 plus 50 gives us 190. 175 is pretty close to 190. So yes, it does make sense.